Hi students, today we'll discuss about the elimination reaction, addition reaction, and there are some name reactions which are included in your syllabus. Okay, myself Tanmay Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JAS College of Engineering, welcome you all in my fourth lecture of organic chemistry. In the previous classes of organic chemistry, we already discussed about the some basic concept regarding electromeric effect, hyperconjugation, mesomeric effect, regarding substitution reaction. We discussed already. Today, we'll at first discuss about the elimination reaction. So from the name, I think you understand that there is something which will be eliminated from the substrate. So in the elimination reaction, what is the basic principle? Look here. Here, there will be one substrate. Generally, it will be alkane, and then what happen? One base will be added. They will added there, and then there one alkene generally produced. Okay, so what happened? Generally, this X, okay, come here in this way, and then H come out. Okay, it go out, then what happened? HX will be produced and their double bond will be produced. So this is the general principle of the elimination reaction. Like what is the main process of the elimination reaction? Then there will be formation of the double bond, and their eliminating group, there are two atoms or two groups generally they will be eliminated by when one base will attack to the substrate. So look there, just as there are two mechanisms or the substitution reaction, we already discussed about that, SN2 and SN1. Okay, in case of elimination also there are two cases like E2 and E1. E2 means this is the bimolecular elimination, and E1 means this is the unimolecular elimination. Okay, so E2 and E1 mechanism differ in timing of bond cleavage and obviously bond formation, analogous to the SN2 and SN1 mechanism, just like the previous what we discussed regarding of the class of the substitution reaction. In the same way, in the E2 and E1 mechanism, there are two mechanisms are there, and by these two mechanisms actually unimolecular and bimolecular process will be there. Okay, so E2 reaction, there are some features which will be resembles with the SN2, and obviously E1 will be, there are some features will be almost similar with the SN1. Okay, then and this is the mainly the H and B here, which they're highlighting parts of their H and B here, that H will be attacked by the base, any of the base. Okay, and then the base take the H and it form BH, and their another part will be the Br. Okay, so in this way Br will be the leaving group. So in this way, base removes a, look there, base removes a proton from the beta carbon atom. Okay, beta carbon atom means with respect to the leaving group. Okay, so if the carbon which is the leaving group is attached to which carbon, if we consider this is the alpha carbon, then obviously the side carbon will be the beta carbon. So this is the beta carbon. Okay, and you have to keep in mind that after elimination the double bond will be formed in between alpha and beta. So if we consider the E2 mechanism, look here it is the E2 mechanism, like what I told, that it is almost similar with the SN2 mechanism. Then it look here that here it is the OH minus, OH minus acts as a base. When OH minus take the H from the compound, then what happen? This bond, follow the arrow, this bond will form the double bond in between alpha and the beta carbon, and the Cl group, a Br group will that Br and CH bond, that bond the cleavage occur in between. So now what happened? Look, there is a formation of the double bond, and obviously there OH minus, when it combined with H then it forms the H plus actually, because it comes out from the compound as the H plus. Okay, it comes out from the compound as the H plus. So H plus and OH minus combine to form the H2, and remaining part Br as the leaving group, as the Br comes out from the compound as the Br minus. Okay, the most common example of the E2 process. Now, why it is the E2? Because what I told you in the time of SN2 mechanism, almost similar reason, that there all the things occur parallelly, that means in one step. Okay, so that's why if it occur in the one step, then a reaction rate, obviously look here, the reaction rate will depends on the concentration of the substrate and concentration of the base. So that's why it is the bimolecular reaction. So kinetics kinetics depends on the both the substrate and the base. That's why it is called the E2. Okay, bimolecular mechanism. Like SN2 also we discussed about that. That is the bimolecular. Here also same case. So the reaction is concentrated, all bonds are broken and form in a single step. You have to keep in mind this word. This is the very important thing, because it occurs at parallel. Okay, at a time bond breaking and bond making occur. Okay, so here the some examples are also there, that in this way there are some examples. It is according to the stereochemistry. Okay, so there are two products that occur. Okay, one is the stereoselective and a regioselective also, which follow this pattern. Okay, next it is the profile of E2. What I told you, if it is the single step mechanism, E2 is a single step mechanism actually. If it is the single step mechanism, then look here that here is there is this transition state. Look, there transition state is there, bond making and bond breaking occur parallelly. Okay, so that's why it is called the bimolecular reaction and single step reaction. So what are the factors which affect the E2 reaction? So look there, that first of all the base appear in the rate equation. So the rate of the E2 reaction increases at the strength of the base increases. So obviously if the base has the high strength or the strong base, then what happened, the rate will be obviously increases, because you already know that in the rate equation their base was, or the concentration of the base was also included. E2 reaction are generally run with strong negatively charged base like OH minus and OR minus, because it is the instant process. So whatever the strong base is very much required. Okay, polar aprotic solvent increases the rate of the reaction. Okay, there is a partial breaking of the bond to the leaving group in the transition state. So the better leaving group, the faster E2 reaction. Okay, so if the leaving group, now the question may arise in this way in your mind, that what factors actually affect the leaving group better. That it is a simple case. If the leaving group, if it is the leaving group L, if it will be stabilized at L minus, then it will be better leaving group. That is a simple thing. So that means if the bond become weaker, like it is a Cl bond become weaker, and it will be stability will be higher. Like if you think about I minus is very good leaving group. Why? Because I minus, do you know, I minus is very high size, so it can accommodate the negative charge. Okay, if the size is very high, then it can accommodate the negative charge, and in this way it can be a very good leaving group. And for this reason, actually what happened, we can expect if there is the I attached with any compound, then it can act as a very good leaving group. Okay, so now rate of the reaction follows. Look here, that obviously what I told you. Look here, the same thing here, that Ri, Rbr, Rcl, Rf, because you know what I told you, that if you think about that Ri, so Ri, the bond is also weaker because I has the very high size. And if you think about RF, the bond is very strong. Why the bond is very strong? Because F has the very small size. So if the F has the very small size, then what happen? The if has the very small size, then the strength of the bond will be very high. The bond will be very strong. So that's why there is a chance of the less chance of breaking the bond. And in other way, F minus, do you know F minus is very small size, so it cannot carry the minus charge, okay, effectively, because if the size is very much lower, then high charge density means charge by radius. Okay, so you know if has the smaller radius, so here charge density will be very much higher, so it will not be stabilized with respect to the I, because if you think about the I minus, a very high size, okay, low charge density, it can carry the charge. So now which will be more effective leaving group, F minus or I minus? Obviously I minus, because if I minus will be stabilized more with respect to F minus, so when I attached with the carbon, it act very good leaving group with respect to the F. In this way you have to compare. Okay, so look here, this is the order of increasing rate of E2 reaction. Okay, so in this way we can explain that from 1 degree to 2 degree to 3 degree, in this way E2 reaction increases. And another way, SN2 reaction, if you think about the SN2 reaction, just opposite direction. This is a very interesting fact. You have to keep in mind that in case of SN2 reaction, there if it is less hindered, if there is less steric crowding, then obviously SN2 reaction follow. Okay, so as the number of R groups on the carbon with the leaving group increases, the rate of the E2 reaction increases, but not the SN2. Okay, so this fact you have to keep in mind, because there may be some kinds of question you can expect that there are two compounds where you have to compare that in between these two, which act better as a act better for the E2, or which will better for the SN2 reaction. Then you have to think about this theory. Okay. Now, characterization of the E2 reaction, there are some characterization like kinetic, second order, already know, mechanism single step, identity of R groups, so the more substitutes halides react faster rate, strength of the strong base. Okay, leaving group, there will be leaving group leads to faster reaction, better leaving group leads to the faster reaction, and then favored by the polar aprotic solvent. So these all factors are very much important E2 reaction. Okay. The next topic, that E1 mechanism. Okay, so look here, in case of E1 mechanism, what is the similar, what I told you, that it is almost similar with the SN1 reaction. In the same way, look, first of all, there carbocation is produced. Here carbocation is produced, here carbocation is produced, and then this carbocation will be it will be neutralized by the formation of the double bond, and this H will be, it is taken by the OH. Okay, H2O. Okay, it is act as the base here. So E1 reaction proceed by two-step mechanism. Okay, you understand better that the bond to the leaving group breaks first before the pi bond is formed, and the slow step is unimolecular involving only alkyl halide. Okay, so this is the first order kinetics, because it depends on only the reaction, it depends on only the substrate. Okay, so this is the E1 mechanism. So you have to keep in mind also the E1 mechanism. The E1 mechanism almost similar, and it is the profile of the E1 mechanism where look here, this is the two-step mechanism. It is the intermediate. It is the intermediate. Okay, it is the intermediate, and it is the your carbocation which is produced, and so this is the E1 mechanism. Okay, and that's why it is called the depends on only one substrate. factors affecting on the rate of the E1 reaction. This is also very important. Look here that first of all, increasing rate of E1 reaction in this way. Okay, so if the number of carbocation, that means that the 3-degree carbocation will favor most E1, because there is in case of the stability of the carbocation, you have to think about that there must be some kind of higher number of alkyl group present which have the plus I effect. This will help to stabilize the carbocation, and reaction will follow this order. Okay, so in this order you look the order of the carbocation stability, and it follow the order of the reaction also. Okay, so the strength of the base, look here, this is very important things which is mentioned here. So very important thing, that the strength of the base usually determines whether the reaction follow E1 or the E2. Okay, so mechanism, strong base like OH minus and War minus favors E2 reaction, keep in mind. Okay, strong base like OH minus and War minus favors E2 reaction, whereas the weaker base like H2 and ROH favor E1 reaction. Okay, a very important thing for the question purpose, you have to keep in mind the strong base always it favors the E1 reaction, and the strong base always favor the E2 reaction, and that the weak base which will favor the E1 reaction. Okay, characteristics of the E1 reaction, look here that starting from kinetics, it is the first order reaction, mechanism, 2 steps, identity of R groups, like this is the order, strength of the base, favorably weaker base. Okay, and leaving group, beta leaving group always preferable each and every case. Okay, beta leaving group is the first order reaction just like SN1, and types of the solvent is the polar protic solvent. Okay, so SN1 and E1 reaction, look here, it is a glimpse of the comparison purpose, that SN1 and E1 reaction have exactly same for the first step. Okay, formation of a carbocation, but different in what happens in the carbocation. Okay, so in there it differ actually. So since both the reaction, the rate determining steps are the same, they cannot be individually controlled. So because E1 reaction occurs with competing SN1 reaction, E1 reaction of alkyl halides are much less useful than E2 reaction. In the same way, so 3-degree halide with a strong base here, E2 elimination occur. With weak nucleophile base, a mixture of products of SN1 and E1 reaction. These things you have to keep in mind. 1-degree alkyl halide, they will be strong with a strong nucleophile. Substitution occur by SN2 mechanism. With strong serially hindered base, elimination occur by E2 reaction. Okay, this factor you have to keep in mind. 2-degree alkyl for 2-degree alkyl also same case occurs here. Okay, the type of reaction also important, that E1CB you have to keep in mind. In case of E1CB, ECB means it is the conjugate base. Here what happened actually, at first conjugate base is produced here. Okay, so that means the reaction that an elimination reaction that happens when compound being a poor leaving group, that is very important, when it attaches to the very poor leaving group and an acidic hydrogen is treated with a base. So what is the mechanism? Look here, if there is an electron withdrawing group attached and there is a poor leaving group, what happens? So at first their carboanion is produced instead of carbocation, their carboanion is produced, and then after leaving the that's why carboanion produced, that's why here it is called the E1CB mechanism. Okay, so then here the leaving group occurs. So E1CB stands for the elimination unimolecular conjugate base. The reaction is unimolecular from the conjugate base compound, which in turn is formed by the deprotonation of the starting compound by a suitable base. Okay, so this is the example of the E1CB reaction. Then come to the point of addition reaction. Okay, what is the addition reaction? Addition reaction is defined as the reaction in which all the reagent atoms are added to the reactants, and thus the product contains all the atoms of the reactant as well as the reagent. Okay, so there is no such kind of elimination occur. From the name it is very much clear that what is the addition reaction. Okay, So now in the same way there is different kinds of addition reaction also present, like electrophilic, like nucleophilic, like free radical addition. There are different kinds of addition reaction also present. So electrophilic reaction, look here that it is the step 1 of, normally in case of addition reaction there are some double bonds are present, unsaturated. For the unsaturated compound it is applicable mostly. So look here, it is the first step of the addition reaction. So in this step, look here, it is the slowest step. And then what happened, then after the step 1, if y plus means it is the it is the electrophilic addition reaction, because y plus it is the electrophile, it loves the electrons. And you know, pi bond means there is a huge electron density, huge pi electron density. So obviously there will be a chance of the addition with the pi electron density with the y plus. So that's why here y plus attached with the pi electron density. Okay, so now here look that if y plus attached with the pi electron density, then what happened, one carbocation is produced here. This is the carbocation, so one carbocation is produced here. And then what happened, then if another anion that is the present here, that attached with the carbon, and overall product will be like this. Okay, so this is called the electrophilic addition. So first electrophile attached here, so that's why it is called the electrophilic addition. Okay, so then there are some information which you have to keep in mind. The second step almost look here, the second step almost similar to the SN1 mechanism. Not all the addition follow the simple mechanism. That means that what we discussed about the mechanism, this is a very simple mechanism, but there is not hard and fast rule that all the addition reaction follow the same kinds of. So there is some kinds of production of also possible regarding the stereochemistry, which I discussed, that erythro and trio. If it is erythro, then it will be same side. Okay, so if the addition occurs same side, then the product will be like this. Okay, so erythro means same side. So look here that the two cation and anion attached to the two carbons, if they attach from the same side, this is called the erythro. If they attach from the different side, look here, if they attach from the different side, then it is called the trio. Okay, so trio will form this kind of product, and obviously erythro will form this kind of product. Okay, so there will be some different product. So that means their addition reaction, their stereochemistry is very important factor in the addition reaction. You have to keep in mind that in case of addition reaction, that if erythro the reactants attach according to the erythro direction, the same direction, then it will form the compound. It will be different with respect to the trio. Another example is the nucleophilic addition. What I told you that there is another classification, nucleophilic addition. So in nucleophilic addition, what happened at the first, obviously there will be nucleophile will attack. Okay, so nucleophile means which attack, which love the nucleus. So obviously what happened, so here that all the nuclear density will be one carbon. Okay, so in this way, so look here, so there is the electron density, here is the electron density, and Y attack here, so it acts as a carbocation. So if it acts as a carbocation, then what happened there, here that there is an electron deficient site will be produced, and Y minus that which act as a nucleophile, it can easily attach with this particular carbon atom. So that's why it is called the nucleophilic addition. What I told you that either nucleophilic addition or electrophilic addition, this is totally depends on that which substitute or which electrophile or nucleophile attack at first to the substrate. Depending on this fact, actually we consider either it is the electrophilic reaction, addition reaction, or nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, you have to keep in mind this fact very carefully. So now look in this thing that nucleophilic addition reaction, there will be the second step also, step 2. What I told you that what was the negative charge which is produced, that will be again again one proton which or the any whatever any carbocation which attached with the C minus, and finally it form the product. Okay, so this is the example of the nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, this is the example of the nucleophilic addition. Then come to the point, free radical addition. If you think about the free radical addition, then look here that at first this bond will break down as a free radical. Okay, each and every bond will break down to form the free radical. Then what happened? Then it attached with the 1 by 1 carbon center in this way. Okay, it attached with 1 by 1 carbon center, and finally it will form the another carbon free radical. And then in the second step, what happened in the second step, look here, another free radical present there which bind with the compound, and in this way it formed the another compound. So this process followed by the free radical mechanism. Okay, so this is the another method where we can see the free radical methods are. Now come to the most important part of the addition reaction. Look here, this is the Markovnikov rule. Okay, you have to keep in mind, very important for your exam purpose also. The positive portion of the reagent goes to the site of the double or triple bond that has more number of hydrogen atom. Keep in mind, this is very important. The positive portion of the reagent goes to the site of the double bond or the triple bond that has more number of hydrogen atoms. I'll show you the examples. Okay, then it will be more clear to understand. Okay, look here. So there are two portion. Okay, so one portion is this portion. Okay, another portion is this portion. Okay, now if you consider this carbon, okay, if you consider this carbon, this is more substituted, because here with this carbon, one is the methyl group, another is the hydrogen group, isn't it? With respect to this carbon, but here this carbon totally attached with the two hydrogen atoms. So we can take in the left hand side this carbon, it is more substituted with respect to this carbon. Okay, so now according to Markovnikov rule, what is the Markovnikov rule of, according to here, that the actually the carbocation will produce to that carbon which is more substituted. Okay, so look here, where carbocation will be produced, there are two chances are there. Okay, either here carbocation will be produced, okay, or here carbocation will be produced. Now you tell me that which carbocation is more stable. Obviously this carbocation will be more stable, isn't it? Because here CH3 methyl group is attached, which has the plus I effect, so it pull the electron density. If it pull the electron density, then what happen? Then the carbocation will be stabilized. So if the carbocation will be stabilized, then obviously it follow this pathway, and finally what happen? X minus which attach with this carbon. Clear what I am telling? So that means what happen actually, that there are two probability, either carbocation will form here when it is possible if hydrogen attached to that carbon, or hydrogen can attach with that carbon by producing the carbocation here. Okay, so there are two probabilities are there, but actually hydrogen will attach there where carbocation will be more stable. Okay, so that means the more substituted carbon atom will get the carbocation, that means the anion part will go there. So depending on this fact, actually there it is written that the positive portion of the reagent goes to the site of the double or triple bond that has more number of hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the actually Markovnikov rule that you have to keep in mind. The exceptions also present, and this is called the anti-Markovnikov rule. Now what is the anti-Markovnikov rule here? So if opposite thing happen, then it is called the anti-Markovnikov rule. Okay, that means if the carbocation will not be produced in the more substituted carbon atom, then it is called the anti-Markovnikov rule. When it is happen, suppose if it is more substituted, like if there is a group like CF3, so in place of CH3, if there is CF3 is attached with the carbon, then what happen? In this carbocation will not produced. because CF3 group has the minus IE effect, isn't it? So if the CF3 group attached instead of CH3 group, CF3 group attract the electron density, so obviously carbocation will not be stable. Then what happen? Carbocation will form this carbon and anion will attach with this carbon. That means it is the anti-Markovnikov addition. So you have to keep in mind which is the Markovnikov addition and which is the anti-Markovnikov addition. This is very, very important for your exam purpose. Okay. Some name reactions are also included in your syllabus. Very few name reaction. So first of all, one name reaction is that Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. This name reaction is included in your syllabus and it is very simple. Look there. This is one ketone. When this ketone reacts with any of the carboxylic acid, okay, then what happens? This H actually taken by the ketone, okay. Then what happened? Their OH plus it is produced, and then the remaining part of this oxygen, what happened? This negative charge again attack the carbon center. Normally what happened, I told you previously also, that if this is the ketone, any of the ketone, then you have to keep in mind that this center is very much, it is actually nucleophilic center, okay. Actually the electron deficient site, okay. So that means why it is electron deficient site? Because normally it is taken as this minus and positive, okay, negative and positive, okay. So O is the minus and carbon contain the plus charge. So so obviously nucleophile can attack in this center. So this way actually O minus attack in this center. Now if you consider this, the next step will be like this, but here two R, okay, two R groups are there, R1 and R2, and one R group attack again oxygen according to the arrow sign you follow. Then we'll get these two products, okay, this product and this product, but here is the O plus, oxygen plus. So what happened? It finally here that double bond, it remains here, and finally we are getting this product, okay. So in this way we can establish the mechanism of the Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. Next is the Clemenson reduction. This is very, very important because Clemenson reduction it is generally used for the reduction purpose in presence of zinc Hg, okay, zinc Hg HCl. So this help to reduce the actually here C double bond O2, any of the ketone group, it is a ketone group, so ketone group to CH2. This is the basic principle of the Clemenson reduction, that if it is the double bond, then it will be reduces to CH2, okay. So in this way we have to keep in mind the Clemenson reduction. And next is the next reaction, and this is the mechanism, okay. There is simple mechanism. If you want to keep in mind, then you can check also. In this way, this is the zinc surface, the reaction occur in the zinc surface, okay. All these things are zinc surface, the reaction occur, and finally we'll get this product, okay. Now next is the Wolff-Kishner reduction, okay. In the Wolff-Kishner reduction, look the reaction mechanism here. Here hydrogen is present. This is the hydrogen, okay. This is the hydrogen actually, and hydrogen when it attaches with the oxygen, then finally there are two steps are there, okay. One step here from here to here, there are in between these two, actually this nitrogen lone pair attack this carbon center, and it convert to the OH. It is the first step, okay. It is the first step. Again another nitrogen this nitrogen again attack second time, and what happened? It that water remove from the carbon center, and finally we are getting this product, okay. So that's why this carbon has the double bond with the nitrogen, as the O come out from the compound as the H2O water. So that's why the three arrows are here given for this clarification, that there are the three steps are present, actually 2 or 3 steps are present. Now which come here, and when which attach with this nitrogen, then what happened, we are getting this product where minus charge attack the OH, and then again which come to the field, and after finally we are getting this product. Okay, so this is the Wolff-Kishner reduction. Just check the mechanism properly, so to keep in mind. Okay, all for the organic chemistry, you have to check all the topics which are included in the organic chemistry, starting from the basic concept to substitution reaction, elimination reaction, addition reaction, and finally these few name reactions are included in your syllabus, which I discussed with you. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for attending my class. I will meet with you in the next class with a different topic. Thank you, goodbye, take care.